We warned them. That's it.
You're late.
Oh, look what the cat tracked in.
Glad you could make it, Bill.
Not good. Not good. You know what that means.
Never seems to work out for me. I don't know who taught you how to let go of someone you want to be. Everybody's been so close to you. Well, I can tell you, baby, doesn't you?
It started, you know, we grew up together, just right, you know, lived right on the same block more or less.
Pretty much.
So that's how it all started. How old were we?
Oh, I don't even know. 10, 11?
And then Bill, of course, joined us a few years later. You know, we'd been in and out of different bands.
Bill.
What's up?
That's good. That's good content right there. Bill, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Do you have anything interesting to say ever?
No.
Ever? Nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
How boring is your life every day?
Pretty boring,
Yeah, okay.
I've been playing with Pat and Audra for quite a number of years, probably at least a good 10 years, ever since high school. And I felt that was the start of a very solid foundation, a very solid roots. You know, I feel like I really haven't set out to do much, and while I'm here. So being part of Chaser 8 is a really big impact on me. You know, I'm really happy to be able to play music with such a solid group of individuals, and so not only have Audra and Pat here, but also Pete and Aaron as well. The path we're going on with this album, it feels really strong and unique. It really blossomed and evolved into something greater than just a regular band playing around, practicing in some basement or garage.
There's a lot of small basements, I remember that.
Yeah.
Tons of really cramped basements.
And I complain about this one being too loud and too cramped, but
Oh
those
my
were
God.
like sardine. You know,
But like
sardines
basements
in
with like things actually in them, so you're playing next to the water heater.
Someone's
like really.
toolbox with,
And like structure poles, like
Yeah.
in your face, like you have to like look around the pole to like get directions from other people.
you can play a song and then do some woodworking
Yeah,
without
seriously.
even moving yet.
Bill was already in the band, and then I mean, I guess the relationship really started with Pete when I started working at Andrade's, and we started working together and
That was
seeing
a
each
couple
other.
years ago.
It was probably like 3 years ago that we started working together, maybe longer. 4 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, after Tony left the band, we were always looking for a drummer here and there. Like, the drummer was the one piece we never really had.
Mm-hmm.
That was always constant. We were always switching out drummers, and we had a lot of different drummers. And we played with a lot of actually really talented drummers throughout the time. And then, you know, of course, Pete being a very talented drummer, I said, why don't you come play? The band that both of you were in kind of fell apart, and as soon as it fell apart, I just was like, okay, I'll take Pete. Just jumped on that, like, immediately. It was like, oh, you guys aren't going to play anymore? Okay, fine. You want to be our drummer? And you were like, yeah. And then that was...
This is our last song for the night. Thank you all so much for coming out. We appreciate it. We got a singles coming up next. Thank you. Before I go, I'd like to introduce the band. I am PG Meany on drums. I have Bill Durant on bass. I have Aaron Tagliamonte on keys and guitar. And Mr. Matt Ross on music guitar. I'm Audra. We're Chaser 8. Remember my name.
And asked Aaron if he wanted to take the role of keyboards and guitar.
Now, mind you, I've been playing guitar since I was about 12 years old. Pretty proficient on it, no virtuoso, but I had a pretty good grasp on music and how things should sound. Never really played keyboard, took maybe a piano lesson in Gateway because it was a free elective and I was just getting paid for going with my GI Bill. So, other than that, had no experience playing keyboards or piano. But he's like, oh, sure, why don't you buy a keyboard and try to play? So, that's kind of how I got into it. And
I guess what we could say is, you know, he still contributes on the keyboard,
Yeah,
but Aaron's really the second guitarist.
right.
Rock,
Well,
rock solid.
I think
yeah.
it kind of
Rock solid.
was the way it was supposed to be, because I think once Aaron started playing guitar more was really where we started honing our sound more with more guitars, and it gave me the ability to go out with the microphone a little bit more.
Right.
And we started honing that sound that we definitely have now, and that appears on the soundboard. So, but yeah, I'd say that's how everyone got in. Now, how does everyone get?
Spooky.
Yeah.
No one
Bloody
gets out alive,
out.
I guess.
Inspired by music legends like Pink Floyd, The Beatles, The Doors, Stevie Nicks, and Janis Joplin, Chaser 8 combines catchy melodies and music with pure emotion to create their own unique sound. Pat Walsh and Audra are two of the band's founding members and have been best friends for 20 years. Look at you guys on the screen there. Pat and Audra join me now. Welcome to Connecticut Style.
Thanks for having us.
So, as a band, we've had a lot of positive things happen in the past few years. We've gotten better gigs. We've been featured in local newspapers and magazines. We've been on local radio, and we've also been on television as well. But you know, we want to grow even beyond that, and I think the thing that would really help us get to the next level is to have a really killer album. So that's really what the main focus for us this year has been.
All right, so we're about ready to step into the studio finally and record this thing. You know, we've been searching different studios and looking at different engineers, and after a pretty lengthy search, we've finally decided on who we're going to go with. Of course, we've also been working on financing the album. We're still an independent band at this point, so we've just been pooling our money together, and you know, we finally have enough to finance this thing. So in the end, we decided to go with a place called Silk City Music Factory. They're located in Manchester, Connecticut. The studio used to be an old mill, so it's kind of a cool atmosphere. And the engineer we chose is a gentleman named Phil Mann. He's worked on some really cool projects. I've checked out his work, and it's really good stuff. So we're excited, and we're going to start by recording the rhythm section, drum and bass first.
Every project that I do now, I'm still trying to do something a little different every time. Every time is a chance to experiment. And because I don't feel like I've made the perfect record, I'm not there yet. Every record I make is a learning experience. So that's why I try not to get locked down and do things the same every time.
Mm-hmm.
Try to do it a little differently every time. That's what...
I got something to tell you. I wanna be on your mind. It's a message to send you. I wanna feel you inside. Every time I
Hilliard Mills is the oldest woolen factory in the United States, and the space that our studio currently occupies was actually built later than the main mill. And in the space that we occupy over the last 100 years, there's been a lot of different businesses, starting with wool-related business.
Pete.
Pete's not here.
Pete.
If I don't move, she won't see me. What?
Just tell me about your life right now.
It's fucking awesome.
Your music life.
It's great. It's great.
As most of you know, or if you've read any of my stories in the past, my blogs, you know a little bit about me. What this has done and what I'm part of is absolutely amazing. Some of the studio stuff can get a little tedious, but the results are going to be fantastic. You couldn't be happier to be part of this. I'm very grateful that you know, I had the opportunity to work with all these guys. I'm saying like I'm done, but I'm glad the opportunity is still here for me to work with these guys. Absolutely amazing. I guess that's pretty much it.
I've always really loved recording music, ever since I was a teenager, really. I've produced and mixed our previous albums, but I'm still really more of a novice and a tinkerer at the end of the day. It was really important for us to get a really pro producer and engineer for this record, and we certainly found that in Phil. To me, there's nothing more cathartic than picking up a guitar and just letting it rip. Nothing else really comes close to it, for me at least. It's just always really been the best and purest way I've expressed myself, really for as long as I can remember. I've really enjoyed co-producing this album with Phil. I've learned a real lot from him, certainly through our discussions, but mostly really just from watching him and just observing his approach to doing stuff. It's really been a great experience, and I've certainly learned a lot.
What is she talking about in this tune? Like, why does she want to die?
I don't know. No idea. I don't know. I didn't write these lyrics.
But you must have listened. I
listened as much as you have. So she's sad about a boy, probably. Why does she want to live tonight? She'll be here later. She can defend her lyrics. I always just try and go with my gut instinct of what I think things should sound like and how I think tunes should be arranged. Brain dead song. It's supposed to be.
What if that comes back?
Yeah, just copy and paste that. Please.
Hey y'all, Aaron here at Silk City Music Factory.
Do you have anything interesting to say?
No.
Does anyone ever have anything interesting to say?
I like waffles. And pancakes. As the relatively newest member of the band, I've been put to challenges that I haven't had in the past. I was in one other band that went to the studio and tried to make some good music, tried to do some producing, but the commitment and the skill level and just the overall attention to details wasn't there. So this has been a great learning experience as well as a personal experience working with people that are devoted, that have a really good skill and good craft that they work with. And much as the rest of the people in the band, I'm proud to have the opportunity to be asked to play with them. The studio experience that we had here, I think it's been nothing short of fantastic. Once again, I'm glad for the opportunity to play with these guys and help produce and make some great music. And I look forward to the success we get from this next coming album.
I didn't choose music, music chose me. People ask, why do you keep doing it? I mean, I don't really have an answer for why I keep doing it. I just have an answer for why I don't do it. I can't not do it. It's inside me. I was born with this, and it just is going to have to keep going. What does it feel like when I get on stage? Being on stage is the most fun I've ever had in my whole life, and I hope that I can live to a point where I'm so old that they're dragging me out on stage. Not like Mick Jagger old. I still want to perform well, but I want to die on stage, because that's where I think I was born. The first time I ever got on stage, I was 18. It was Battle of the Bands, That was the first time we ever performed. And those curtains opened, and I was nervous, of course, because it was the first time I'd ever been on stage. But after I made it through the first song, and I looked out into the crowd, I realized that that was it. I was hooked.
The night is late, and I haven't slept much in day. I'm flying straight down the interstate. I know a little about love, but I don't know I can make it up. So I know a little about love, and I'm off to see my baby tonight. I'm gonna give it up to you, baby. I'm gonna give it up to you. I swear.
Working with Phil was great. Once we got over that first session, and I was there for like the entire month of July for many, many hours, he really dug in and really pushed my limits of what I could do and how I could do it, and made me work very hard. And it was so rewarding because the things that he got me to do were, they came out sounding so cool. I am merely the canvas and the painter.
And then the next one is the same thing again. No, that's wrong. Is that the chords right? What are the words?
And it's a long way back to
It's a
mine.
Long way back
to find
I see the tree. I feel no breeze. It's a long way back.
The album sounds the best I've ever heard a sound ever. I mean, before this, we have 3 albums out now, and, you know, there were always DIY projects, which were great, and they were so much fun to do. And it was, you know, doing DIY is a really cool thing because you get to really have and hang your hat on something that you did it yourself, and you had the capabilities to produce, you know, really decent tracks by yourself, and that was always something that we hung our hat on. And then once we got pushed into this new sound, where I think Pat and I pushed each other into this new sound, where we were just, you know, if we didn't know it or not, challenging each other to write better all the time. Once we got pushed into this new sound, we outgrew the DIY process, and we just became a lot better than it. And I think that was only natural in our evolution. But yeah, I mean, it's as far as working in the studio and being up there and getting the sounds that you want, and then hearing them play back to you, it's just amazing what 5 people can do. You know, it's amazing that you can sound like that, and you can be like that, and it's amazing what all that work can do, because sometimes you listen to it and you're like, holy shit, that sounds really good. And you don't even realize that it's you, like you're kind of taken back by the fact that it's actually you, and that you actually did that. I got you, Phil, I got you. Yeah, so the idea for the artwork was to have something really elegant, and you know, we didn't want anything that was really going to overpower the music. We wanted something that was really going to complement it, and the music has a lot of different themes, and a lot of them being, you know, sexual or dark or love or lust, and we wanted artwork that was going to really complement that. Also, the other theme of it, which we hope people pick up on, is the fact that the whole album and all of the artwork is in black and white. The only thing that ends up being in any color is the logo. So we hope people actually pick up on that everything is done in black and white. And it's all really monochromatic, and then the logo is the only thing that is meant to stand out. Took a long time to perfect it. Lots of rounds of edits with a bunch of different graphic designers, but finally I got it to a piece where I was happy, and that's where we're at now.
Yes. They finally arrived. Our CDs. They are here. All this hard work, it's finally paid off.
Yep. They're here.
And you got a chance by watching this to see how the magic happens and how the sausage is made.
That's an interesting line to use in this situation.
But tell the well,
here's the sausage. So after spending months and months on this album and pouring our heart and soul into it, we decided to share the finished masters with one of our biggest crazy eights on the planet, Carlos. And after sharing it with him yesterday, I got this response early this morning. And it says, "Thank you so much for letting me hear this. I literally listened to it nonstop for 9 hours yesterday. If this album doesn't put you on the map, there's absolutely no hope ever for saving the music industry. It's seriously that good." Reading things like that makes you feel good. What we're gonna make Pete wear is a pink tutu, some really high combat boots. We were thinking about nipple tassels. Nipple tassels. That's what we're thinking about for Pete. Aaron, lederhosen?
Lederhosen.